Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to MJ's Maths and Stats. That's MJ Magic Studio to you. I am your host, Dost, and as usual in the ghost mode, Mohit Jain. Uh, I've fight, I've recovered, and I'm back. Hopefully, you all are keeping good. Stay at home, stay healthy, and help people around. These are the tough times, isn't it? So, on this note, I'm today with actual question asked on 3rd of May 2021 at 5 p.m. slot at TCS NQT. Numerical ability 24 questions in this session again. So, without wasting our time, let's begin now. A number which was to be divided by 105, that is 3 into 5 into 7 is 105, was divided by 3, 5 and 7 in succession, and the remainders were 2, 4 and 6 respectively. What would be the remainder when it is divided by 105 straight away? So there is a small technique to find the smallest of such number, which when divided by 3 leaves remainder 2, when divided by 5 in succession leaves remainder 4, and when divided by 6 leaves remainder when divided by 7 leaves remainder 6. To find the smallest of such number, we start from the down and try to move upstairs. Let the quotient which we get when a number is divided by 7 is 0. That means it is not divisible by 7 anyways. And the remainder is 6. That means the number is nothing but 6. 6 when divided by 6, quotient will be 0 and remainder would be 6, isn't it? Now we are looking out for a number which when divided by 5 leaves quotient 5 and remainder is 4. We know that numbers are always q into d plus r. So here this is the quotient, this is the divisor and this is the remainder. So 5 into 6 is 30 and 30 plus 4 is 34. That means 34 when divided by 5, quotient is 6 and remainder is 4, isn't it? Now again, when a number is divided by 3, quotient is 34, it is divided by 3 and remainder is 2. So 12, 102 plus 2, that is 104. That means the smallest of such number is 104. So the pattern of these number would be, what is the LCM of 3, 5 and 7? LCM of 3, 5 and 7 is 105. Then the number pattern is 105x plus 104. Any number of this form, any number of this form when divided by 3, 5 and 7 in succession will leave 2, 4, 6 as the remainder respectively. Now this number is divided by 105. We need to find the remainder when n is divided by 105. That means 105x is divided by 105 and 104 is divided by 105. This is fully divisible as we can see. So this part will only help us out in finding the remainder. So remainder in this case would be 104, as 104 is not divisible by 105, isn't it? So yes, we have 104 in option C. Option C is the answer. X is equals to p% of y. That means it is p by 100 into y. And y is equals to 5% of x plus y. 5% means 5 by 100 into x plus y. So this becomes 20y minus y. 19y is equals to x. And x is equals to py by 100. So this is what we have got. 19y is equals to py by 100. Now what is asked? What is the value of p? If I cancel y from these two ends, I'll get p equals 19 into 100, that is 1900. So value of p is 1900, that features in option A. The monthly salary of B is 30% more than that of A. So let me take salary of A as 100. then B's salary is 30% more, it will become 130. And the monthly salary of C is 20% less than that of A. So C's salary would be 20% less than 100, that is 80. Monthly expenditure. Okay. Monthly expenditure of B is 70% of his salary. So 130 into 70% would be 91. That is expenditure of B. Whereas the monthly savings of C, so we have savings also, is 20% of his salary. 20% of 80 is how much? 80 into 20% will give 16. Now we know that savings is equals to salary minus expenditure if nothing more is given. Then which among the following is the monthly expenditure of C? We need monthly expenditure of C as a percentage of the same of B divided by monthly expenditure of B into 100. This is what we are looking out for. So monthly expenditure of C would be 80 minus 16, that is 64. And monthly expenditure of B is 91. We are looking out for 64 by 91 into 100. Fine. 1.09, that would be around 70. Yes, 70.32 more specifically would be the percentage that features in option B. The number of students in 3 sections A, B, C of a class in a year are in the proportion 3:4:5. So let we have 3 students, 4 students and 5 students. At the final examination of the said year, 20, 30 and 40% of the student of section ABC do not get promotion, and thereby the total number of pass student, that means promoted student, would be from A 80%. 80% of 3 is 2.4. From B would be 70%. 70% of 4 is 2.8. And from C would be 60%. 60% of 5 is 3. So 3 plus 2.8 plus 2.4 is 8.2. So if I take the common ratio as X, 8.2 is 123. Number of student pass is 123. That means X equals 123 into 10 divided by 82, 41, 3, 41, 2 and 5. So X is 15. So here the common ratio was X. So the number of students in ABC, A is 45, here we have 60 and here we have 75. Now the question. How many students were there in section A in the beginning? In the beginning, there were 45 students in section A, that features in option C. A dealer in textile item purchase 40 meter of a variety of cloth and sell it so as to make a profit equivalent to the selling price of 4 meter of cloth. Here we can very easily use our rule 4, that is our debt rule from our rule book as far as profit and loss is concerned. We need CP and SP. Let's start with SP. Let's assume that SP of 1 meter cloth is 1 rupee. SP of 1 meter is 1 rupee. That means CP of 40 meter cloth would be how much? Selling price of 40 minus the profit. How much is the profit? Profit is selling price of 4 meter of cloth. Selling price of 1 meter is 1, therefore selling price of 4 meter is 4. That comes to 36. So we have 40, CP is 36 and 1 meter selling price is 1 rupee. And the process is simple. Principal diagonal 40 minus secondary diagonal 36 by 36 gives us profit or loss percentage. This is 4 by 36, that is 1 by 9. Since it is positive, this trader, the dealer, is having profit of 1 by 9 into 100 to convert that into percentages. 100 by 9 is 11. Yes, 9 it is 11. 1 by 9 percentage as profit. That is in option C. A retailer made a profit when he allowed discount of 4%. So let the mark price be M. And you have given 4% discount. That means selling price is 96% of mark price. That can be taken as 0.96 M. But he incurred a loss to the extent of half of the rate percent of his profit. So how much is the profit percent? Profit is calculated as SP minus cost price, let it be C, by C into 100. This is the profit percent. Now half of this was the loss if he raised the discount by 200%. Discount initially was 4%, raise it by 200%. That means you are raising it by more 8%. Now you are giving 12% discount. If you are giving 12% discount, you are incurring loss, which is equals to half of the profit percent. That means half of profit percent is your loss percentage. Loss is CP minus SP. New SP is 0.88 M because you are giving 12% discount by C into 100. Now let's see what we get here. We have 0.96 M minus C equals 2C minus 1.76 M. This and this, if I add, it would be 2.72 M equals to 3C. That means M is 3C or 300C by 272. Great. Now what is the question? What was the original profit percentage? We need to find this value. So original profit percentage would be marked selling price, that is 96% of 300 by 272 into 0.96 minus C by C, and the CC, if I take common and cancel, it would be simply minus 1 into 100. So that accounts to minus 9, it will be 16 by 272 into 100, or 16, how many times it will go? 17 times. 100 by 17, that is 585. 515 by 17% is the profit percentage. 515 by 17, that features in option B. Option B is the answer. A and B invest in a scheme which provides simple interest at the rate of 5% and 6% per annum for initial capital less and greater than 21,000 respectively. If your capital is less than 21,000, you will get 5% interest. If your capital is more than 21,000, you will get 6% interest. B's capital is 20% more than that of A, who invests 20,000. A investment is 20,000. So B investment is 20% more than this. That is multiplied by 1.2, you will get 24,000. So A will get interest at the rate of 5% and B will get interest at the rate of 6%. B invests for 2.5 years. For how many additional days above 3 years does A invest, if this is not a leap year, that she earns the same amount of interest as B? Okay, B invests for 2.5 years, 2.5. We don't know the investment for X, but the interest is same. So simple, we know the simple interest formula is simply PRT by 100. So 20,000 into 5x by 100 equals 24,000 into 6 by 100 into 2.5. Let's solve this. This is 5 and this is 6. 5 into 5 is 25. This will go out and we'll left with 10. And x will be equals to 3.6 years. That means investment of A is for 3.6 years, but they have asked how many more days than 3 years. That means 0.6 into, since it is not a leap year, we need to multiply by 365. We are looking out for 6 by 10, that is 3 by 5, 5 times 7 and 3. 73 into 3 is 219 days. 3 years and 219 days is the investment of A. 219, yes, that we have in option D. The ratio of the differences between the compound and simple interest at the same rate earned on some money for 2 and 3 years respectively is equals to 25:78. If P rupees is invested at the same rate of interest I, that is R by 100, then the difference between simple interest and compound interest for 2 years is given by Pi square, and the difference between simple interest and compound interest for 3 years is given by PR square into I plus 3. If we know these two formula, this question is just 10 seconds, isn't it? So what we have, Pi square upon Pi square into I plus 3 is 25 by 78. We need to find the rate percent. That means we are looking out for I, then rate percent would be simply I into 100. If I invert this, I plus 3 is 78 by 25, that is 3 plus 3 upon 25. That means R by 100, that is I, is 3 by 25. R equals to 12%. Rate of interest we are looking out for is 12%, that is in option D. X and Y working together can complete the work in 15 days. In how many days Y working alone will be able to do 1/3 of the work if X is 5 times as efficient as Y? If X is 5 times as efficient than Y, that means that if X takes X days to complete the work, Y will take 5X days to complete the work. Now we know the combined formula, how it works. Combined formula is simply product by sum. This leads to what? X into 5X by X plus 5X is the combined time taken by them, that is 15 given. That is 6X, X cancel, 5, 3, X is equals to 18. Time taken by Y to complete the full work is 80 into 5, 18 into 5, that is 90 days. We are looking out for time taken by Y to complete 1/3 of the work. 1/3 of the work he will take 1/3 into 90, that is 30 days. That features in option B. A cistern is connected by an inlay and outlay pipe. If these are opened together, the cistern gets filled in 10 hours. Okay. Whereas if the outlay pipe is opened 1 hour later, the total filling time is 8 hours. Let us take the volume of the work done by them per hour. That the inlay pipe is injecting X liters per hour and outlay pipe is taking out Y liters per hour. Then the volume of the cistern should be, since this is filled in 10 hours, the volume of cistern should be 10 into X minus Y. Now, if the outlay pipe is opened 1 hour later, the total filling time is 8 hours. That means, according to this statement, the capacity of the cistern should be 8X is the inlay minus only 7Y. Why 7Y? Because outlay pipe has worked 1 hour less than the total time. Now, if we equate this, 10x minus 10y equals 8x minus 7y. That means 2x is equals to 3y. X is equals to 1.5y. Fine. Then in how many hours can the outlay pipe empty the full cistern? X is equals to 1.5y, then capacity is 10 into 1.5y minus y, that is 5y. Capacity of the container is 5y. If you are taking out 5 liters per hour, that means time taken by the outlay pipe to empty this full tank would be 5y by y, that is 5 hours. And that features in option A. The ratio of the time taken by a caterpillar, ये साइज का इस तरह से होता है ना caterpillar, to walk past 50 centimeter. 50 centimeter, if the caterpillar is walking past 50 centimeter, that means caterpillar need to cross 50 centimeter and its own length. And a meter scale means 100 centimeter, 1 meter, is 109 is to 209. Okay. Now, what is the time ratio? Time ratio is given by distance by speed, and in the both case speed is same. So time taken by the caterpillar to walk past 50 centimeter would be L plus 50 by S, and walk past meter scale L plus 100 by S. This will be equals to 109 by 209. Now if we solve this, you'll get 209 L plus 209 into 50 would be 10450 equals 109 L plus 10900. 209 minus 109 is 100. L equals 450. L equals to 4.5 centimeter. What is the length of the caterpillar in centimeter? That will be 4.5 centimeter. That is in option D, and that is the answer. The time taken by a crew to cover a certain distance up and down a river. Okay, that means upstream, downstream. Time taken to go up a distance is given by D upon man speed minus water speed, because when you are going up you would be facing resistance, and the time to come down would be D upon M plus W. Now this ratio is given as 2:1. Up and down time ratio is 2:1. Okay, that means D upon M minus W into M plus W by D is 2 by 1, or M plus W equals 2M minus 2W, or 3W is equals to M. This is the relationship we have. If the speed of the crew in still water is 10 kph, means this is the value of M. That means speed of water is 10 by 3 kph. In still water speed is 10 by 3 kph. What is the question? By how many kilometers will a small leaf get swept away in 9 minutes when dropped softly on this water? That means here there is no speed of the leaf. It will only flow with the speed of the water. What is the speed of the water? Speed of the water in 60 minutes you can flow to 10 by 3 kilometer. So now in 9 minutes, simple unitary method, 10 by 3 into 9 by 60. Got it? 3, and this will be half a kilometer, that is 0.5 kilometer would be the leaf swift away in 9 minutes. That's in option A.